You said that, it's question 6, you said that political correctness is kind of cancer of our society. Why? Because it's destroying freedom of speech, freedom of expression. That's what it's designed to do. So you've got this progressive mindset which has been programmed through the colleges and universities to a very large extent, which has hijacked the former feet on the ground left in politics. Not that I agree with all of that either, but I agree with far more than I do with progressives, which is virtually nothing. And so you have these this mindset which calls itself progressive. Actually it's regressive, and perceives itself as liberal when it's the absolute antipathy of the definition of liberal. In fact, it's much closer to the definition of fascism, whereby the right not to be offended is being sold as more important than freedom of speech. Now, this is deadly. This is deadly to all freedom, because no freedom of any kind exists without the founding freedom of speech, freedom of expression. And once you start to say someone not being offended is more important than freedom of speech, then freedom of speech is over, finished. Because it doesn't matter what you say, someone somewhere will be offended by it. And what we're seeing is more and more reasons and more excuses, more and more encouragement of everyone to be offended about everything. Thus, the number of things that can be said, the number of opinions that can be had, are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, day after day after day, as more and more reasons to be offended usurps the right to express an opinion. And if you look at any tyranny, whether it's fascist or communist, you will see that one of the many common themes between communism and fascism, because they're expressions of the same thing really, just different names, is that you hijack what people can and cannot say. It's why the Nazis burned the books. Now the progressives are burning the books, literally and symbolically. And so you're seeing the same thing. If you look at the human society, everything is inverted. So here we have the latest inversion, which is of a mindset called progressive, that perceives itself as liberal and anti-fascist, that is doing everything that fascists do when they're seeking to get power. So what I'm saying to people is have some backbone. Stop being intimidated by these moronic people into silence. I say to celebrities, stop getting down on your knees and apologizing, asking for forgiveness because some Twitter storm has taken exception to some mild thing you may have said. You know, give them the bloody finger, mate. Don't bloody apologize for something there's nothing to apologize for. You're doing, but people do. It's a tyranny. The progressives are the stormtroopers of political correctness, which is just a means by the hidden hand to get the target population to silence the target population so the hidden hand doesn't have to. And we're seeing freedom of speech, of course, disappearing because this hidden hand controls Facebook, controls Google, controls Twitter. You know, I mean, don't think for a second that the people officially in charge of those organizations are actually running them. I mean, have you seen Zuckerberg, the T-shirt? Couldn't run a bloody seafood stall. Man-child. And he's running Facebook. Yeah, sure he is. Not running it any more than I am. The hidden hand's running it. He's just a front man for it. Okay, says number 7, let's return to more philosophical areas. Many people in Western society are tired of the system and search for the real truth and illumination, but is it possible to reach them all in our reality? Well, it's a choice. Obviously, it's a challenge too, because we're being fed constantly information, both in the waveform energetic sea fabric of this matrix and directly through the media and other forms of communication. We're being sold a hoax. We're being given information to give us a false version of reality, a false version of who we are. That's the whole point of the control. So it is a challenge in that way. But what I find is if you reassign your self-identity, lots of things start to change. So I don't perceive myself to be David Icke. That is a name for my experience currently. What I am is infinite awareness, awareness that has no form. It's just a sense, a state of being aware. And I choose that awareness expands into the infinity of awareness to the maximum amount that I can. I self-identify with being that infinite state of awareness. That's who I am, the infinite I. That's who we all are. Expressions, points of perception, points of attention within this infinite I. And the names and labels that we give to ourselves and others give to us are merely labels of the experience we're having. Now, it may not sound, revolutionary, but that transformation from I am my name, that's who I am my job, I am my race, I am my religion, I am my labels, to I am infinite awareness, having experiences given those labels. It changes everything. Things start to move because that self-identity starts to expand you, because your self-identity is expanded into realms of awareness and insight and perception that are beyond the program, beyond the matrix. You start to see things you've never seen before. Perceive things, understand things, be aware of things that you never had before. So it's the key is self-identity. Who are we? Are we infinite awareness having an experience, or are we, Billy Jones driving a bus? Is that who we are? No, it's what you're experiencing. And the experience you're having is called Billy Jones, and you drive a bus, but it's not who you are. You are infinite awareness, just like everyone else, having that experience. This is the way to overcome it, to change our self-identity. Because while we continue to self-identify with the labels of the program will dictate our perception and thus dictate our lives and dictate our possibility. Key is disconnecting from the program at source, which is disconnecting from the self-identity that program must manipulate us to have if it's to have the impact over us that it desires.